Welcome to She Who Wrenches, a Mercyverse reread-along podcast. Today we're mostly talking about Bloodbound, but everything through Blind Date with a Werewolf is fair game, including fair game. Spoiler howl? Ow! In case you don't remember, Bloodbound is the one where Mercy's trailer gets mauled by a demon-possessed vampire, and Mercy runs all over the Tri-Cities trying to figure out where he's hiding. Today we're going to start with Chapter 1, but before Recap Guy derails us, we now have a webpage and ways to message us and leave a voicemail and a Blue Sky account. It's She Who Wrenches. The links are in the show notes, but I just had to brag about that, even though by the time this airs, it will have happened a very long time ago.
You forgot to add the pagers in there, so we'll get that up.
Oh, our pager numbers, yeah.
Yeah, pager numbers will be listed shortly.
Actually, I think you can text it, and then we just see it like inside the platform. So a text is really like a text-based page, if you think about it. Kind of. Okay, just text me your phone number, and I'll call you back.
All right.
Yeah, those were real fancy pagers if you could get a text message on them. Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
I still have
it's true.
mine in a drawer somewhere, but yeah.
Not everyone had the fancy ones.
No. All right, what chapter are we on? I think you said chapter 1, but we're not on chapter 1.
We're starting with chapter 10.
Chapter 10! Okay.
Which has a 1 in it, so.
That's true. That was half the chapter.
And now it's time for Recap Guy!
Hey, we actually talked about the book last time. We made a new personal best by getting through a chapter and a paragraph. So Mercy met up with Marsilia and Andre for Bottomless Bloody Mary night at Uncle Mike's to discuss how to off Corey Littleton for conduct unbecoming a vampire. Mercy wonders why she's the one who has to do it, and Marsilia basically says, better you than me, but you can take Andre with you for immoral support.
Okay, that one was good. We'll keep that one.
And Mercy then auditions for Uncle Mike's Supernatural Idol and advances to the next round of her life with a stirring rendition of Underhill and Far Away.
Right. That's good. Yep.
That was for you, by the way. Brittany's like,
I appreciated that. Yeah.
Mercy then refuses a ride in the Bloodmobile from Andre to visit Stefan's menagerie. And Andre has to wait outside because he drank too much last time. And Mercy learns about medicinal vampirism and gets a copy of Vampire Slang for Dummies. Mercy then goes home to her mobile manor and is awoken by a vampire demon infestation in the East Wing. Littleton does spot-on impressions of Mercy and her friends, as well as a can opener to her trailer. Mercy critiques his performance by unloading her elephant gun into the floor of her trailer, but Littleton sticks his middle finger up through the floor along with the rest of her bullets. Mercy then vows to avenge her trailer and calls and pages everyone she knows to let them know she's going after Littleton, and if she's not back in 5 hours, just wait longer. Mercy then has a conversation with Hannah the Friendly Ghost, and she gives Mercy a glamour shot of Adam and tells her how we changed for our men, but they're worth it. In an unrelated note, Brittany kept her maiden name.
I think that gets you a pass for the whole rest of this episode. You can't be out of the pack based on that move right there. Not today.
Okay, then I'm gonna.
It'll happen again.
I'm gonna push
it
now.
This day. Yeah.
You have been dared.
Yeah. All right.
Chapter 10.
Thanks, Recap Guy.
You're welcome.
Beckworth calls to say, hey, so Bran called me, and who's somebody I've never heard of before, and says maybe I shouldn't come to the Tri-Cities after all, after I'd already talked to Adam and worked everything out. And she's like, yeah, so it turns out lots of drama. Also, don't know where Adam is.
Yeah, maybe don't come here because the dude that you're looking for, we're all looking for him. We have so much in common.
And he's like, so is this Bran guy okay? And she's like, well, he let me live, so why not?
I survived. It's fine.
Bran's pretty regular. You said I can't get kicked out, so
I brought it on myself. I know, that's why I didn't say anything. Like, I know. I did this to myself.
You brought it on all of us.
I really did. I did. That's fair. I did. Yeah, he says, so, like, we had a conversation. They get this little check-in, and he's, like, super grateful. If there's anything I can do for you, you let me know. And she's, well, as a matter of fact, I'm looking for this dude. And you, investigative reporter dude type guy, maybe you can hook a girl up. So she asks him if he can go do a little social media stalking on a fella named Corey Littleton to see what we can find out about this particular ray of sunshine on Facebook. So he says, sure, I'll go see. And she goes, oh, BT dubs. If he owns any property, that would also be useful information. Thanks, bye. That's where their conversation wraps up, doesn't it?
Pretty much. Although before that, she's like, I was about to automatically refuse help, which I super relate to, even though she could have definitely used it.
Yes. That's like a reflex for lots of people. Yeah, it's fine. I'm good. Yeah, nothing. Never mind.
But I also want to point out, like, if my memory is correct, at the time this came out, it would have been equally likely to refer to Facebook or MySpace.
In fact, it would be more likely, I think, at that point to have been MySpace or Friendster or, you know, the 20 minutes some other social media platform was popular, I feel like, but I might be wrong.
Getting illegal downloads for Vampster.
Bloodbound came out in 2007, so we're starting to veer towards Facebook. But how weird is it that those, like, 3-4 years really matter? And then it, like, Facebook has just dominated the world since then.
Ever since, yeah.
So, yeah, she's like, hey, if you're really a private investigator, please find information. Thanks. And then Gabriel's like, hey, so what's up? And she's like, yeah, there's actually some serious, because he had gotten the Warren call the day before, and which is weird to think that was just the day before. But it's also pretty packed right here.
She's trying to give him, like, the diplomatic version of
safe
this,
answer.
The what I told you is true from a certain point of view answer is what she's trying to give him. Like, I don't want to lie, but I sure don't want to tell you the truth. So she sort of lays out these little bits of information, and Gabriel goes, oh, okay. So are there vampires involved too, or, you know, is it just
like is it a vampire like Stefan?
Yeah.
And she's like,
is this is this a vampire thing? Because, like, Stefan's a vampire, and she's like, and she tries to give, like, the I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
You know, and he's like, we only see him at night, and you know, like, and basically, like, aside from Scooby-Doo,
It's like, when the Van Helsing are you talking about?
he said he's not Dracula, and then I was like, yeah, but is he Count Orlok?
No, Count Orlok.
Count Orlok.
For our listeners, since our last recording, we watched Shadow of the Vampire, which they watch in Rivermarked, and it was a thing we watched.
Yeah.
It is certainly a thing I've seen. Yes.
Yeah.
It was real weird, and then went down a rabbit hole Googling stuff. We watched that, and we've been watching a lot of Scooby-Doo because our toddler likes Scooby-Doo now. And so we've been really immersing ourselves in the like
adjacent,
extended, vaguely related media to Mercy Thompson.
Yeah.
We need a mystery machine.
We almost bought one.
We need to get one.
Yeah. Interesting side note about Scooby-Doo. Because as we were watching it, we determined, because we were going down the list of what does everybody say. Everybody has a catchphrase. So Scooby says ruh-roh, a lot. So we were going with that. Shaggy says zoinks a lot. Velma says jinkies a lot. And got the question from the toddler, what does Daphne say? My answer was nice ascot. But that's apparently incorrect, sadly. Apparently she does have a catchphrase. You just don't see her very much, so it's hard to...
You don't hear her talk very much. You see her plenty.
Yeah, she does walk by when everybody walks by. But apparently her catchphrase is Jeepers, and we looked for what Fred says, and there is no catchphrase for Fred. Unless you ask an AI, because the AI said Fred's catchphrase is Scooby-Dooby-Doo, and he howls it at the end of every episode. So that's
I forgot about that hallucination.
I enjoyed that one. But we just kind of noped out. Like, Fred doesn't apparently have enough character development to even have a catchphrase, which I sort of thought was an interesting thing to note. So there you go. Thank you for coming to our Scooby-Doo talk. Meanwhile, at the airport,
Ramada.
we actually built up watching Shadow of the Vampire for a long time.
Yeah.
We were like kind of excited to watch it, and
then we watched it, and that managed all of those expectations.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting idea. Mostly what I didn't know about it was that they'd had all the copyrights. They'd asked for copyright permission and were denied.
Yeah.
For the Nosferatu,
For Dracula.
yeah,
And then
so they made
They
The
tried to
reason-
destroy all the copies.
Yeah, the reason the film Nosferatu exists in the state that it is because the guy that made the movie in the first place went to Bram Stoker's widow and said, we want to make the film version of Dracula, and like was ready to go. There was a script and everything. And she was like, lol, no, that's not happening. There's no way. I'm not letting you make this movie. It's not going to happen. I'm not giving you the rights. No, and you can't make me, basically. So they rebranded everybody. I know they didn't have this then, but it was a find and replace. So
I was just thinking they had to do this with a typewriter.
yes. So they had to like go line everything out, and instead of being Dracula, had to write in Count Orlok, and like sort of give everybody else the names. It's legally distinct argument, right?
Yeah.
But it's a very familiar story. So
The courts decided it was not legally distinct.
yeah. It's like,
yeah, the footnote is that changing names was not good enough to argue legally distinct. So
it didn't count.
oh, jeez.
Look what you've done, Kelly.
Yeah.
I know. I knew it going in. So then this movie, Shadow of the Vampire, is about the actual making of Nosferatu, and what if Max Schreck was actually not some Hollywood actor and was some sort of mysterious supernatural creature, and we've made a deal. We get him to be in the movie, and he gets the lead actress at the end. That's how we're going to work this out.
And by get, that is not defined. Like,
No.
in what sense? Nobody is told.
No,
Yeah.
basically, I don't know. I think the closest we ever get to it is like, you promised me I could have her or something is like what he says. I
Yeah.
think that's
is
the
it
closest.
dinner? Is it like
It's Count
Is it-
Orlok snacks.
Is it
Rot roll.
Is it a date? Is it she lives in the tower of this creepy place that we filmed the movie? We have no idea. I feel like a thing that would have been good to know going in, which is not a spoiler, but is an expectation management data point, is that this is the first film Nicolas Cage produced.
Yeah, we didn't know Nicolas Cage was
We
attached.
didn't know he had
it.
anything to do with it in any capacity.
Mm,
And if I had known that going in, I maybe would have expected something closer to what we got out of that movie.
It still is way better acted than if he were in it.
Oh, 100%.
Like, no question.
I mean, it still has a ton of energy.
Yeah, we tried watching an interview with him.
It was
I
great.
did not maintain focus for that.
It's hard. It's hard sometimes. Yeah.
I can't hear him talk.
We will talk more about Shadow of a Vampire when we get to that part in those books, which is not this book.
I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Anyway, back to this vampire.
Yes, let's talk about this one. Because Gabriel's like, is this a vampire problem? Because it seems like Stefan, if Stefan's involved, is it actually a vampire issue or not? She tries to make the, like, I don't know what you're talking about kind of little Jedi hand wave. And he's like, no. It's very much a conversation about Gabriel being like, I was born at night, Mercy, but it wasn't last night.
Your Jedi tricks don't work on me.
So she also updates him that Adam and Samuel are MIA.
And she keeps calling people, and they keep not calling her back.
Yeah,
She tries to
pagers
page.
going answered.
Nobody
Yeah.
calls back. Nothing
Nothing.
happens.
Nope.
So next thing we know, here comes Zebolt Adalbertsmetter. One day we will spend some time talking about him because I have so many questions. But anyway, shocker, he shows up with a burr under his saddle. Who could have guessed
Yeah.
he'd come in hot,
Normally.
right?
He's pretty pleasant.
Yeah. So this ray of sunshine sachets into the shop like, Mercy, for Pete's sake,
No vampires.
no vampires. Knock it off. Don't do this. It's stupid for you to continue. Here's some stuff because I know you're going to do it anyway.
Well, Uncle Mike has been gathering up the supplies from the Fae reservation to send off with her.
Yeah, because because this is more not helping. Like, I'm officially not helping. So he got some stuff together and like took it to Z, right? And then was like, we're not supposed to help Mercy doing any of this stuff. So in unrelated news, I just happened to have this particular steak. I was thinking maybe you would like these. Maybe you're doing some redecorating and you could use some, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Z puts together a little vamp stock and care package for Mercy. So here's a sensible bag with his knife that will cut all of the things with capital letters on all the things. I'm just waiting for... Let me give Eric a second to make the Sawzall joke. I'm just waiting for it.
No, I was going to make the coin joke where you set the coin on the vampire and you say effluvia and it disappears.
Whoosh! Yeah.
Yeah.
It turns the vampire into effluvia.
Effluvia.
When I was actually thinking about your reputation as the Swiss Army wife, which is a nickname that Kelly has given herself on many occasions, and feeling like your supply is not adequate if you don't have the knife that cuts through everything.
Yep.
And that is lacking in your inventory.
Yes. I do not deal with as many supernatural creatures as Mercy does, so the regular Leatherman that lives in my purse seems to do the job for most things.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I've never found the occasion to slice up a vampire, so I haven't really...
Yeah.
Or anything else, quite that interesting for that matter. So mostly it's okay. Yeah, so she gets the medallion, the knife, and a steak, because the steak came from Uncle Mike. And he explains to her how the medallion works. Like, you have to say, I thought it was dragon. You have to say...
Draken, yeah.
Yeah. Or burn, or whatever it is. You have to say
or Dawkin or something. I don't know.
It's Draken, but I don't remember if it was because it's burn or because it's dragon or whatever. But anyway, you have to say it and mean it. And the thing that it is on will catch fire thanks to this majigger.
So did Z make that one?
I feel like he did. I don't know if he said he did, but I just always presumed it because it's metal.
Yeah,
I know it's not iron, but it's not silver either. I don't think.
I think he made it, but it isn't technically a weapon, and we normally think about him making weapons. But whatever.
Yeah. Well, if anybody could turn that into a weapon, it would be him.
It's true.
Yeah.
And then Bran calls, and I think Z's still there for this.
I think so too.
And it's like, hey, don't do it.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Why are you surprised?
It's like they've never met, And like, as we discover through the books, most of the reason anybody knows anything about Mercy is because of the ways that she got back at Bran. For him to say it and believe that it's gonna legitimately make a difference, because he does not strike me as a person who says things for the sake of having said them. like I feel like what that should have been was, is there any way I can talk you out of this? Or is there anything I can do to keep you from doing this? Because I know you're gonna. Unless he is standing in the doorway, I feel like the answer is, thanks for playing.
and she can't. She even says like, whatever. I'll just tell him what I'm gonna do, because it's not like he can do anything about it.
He can't do anything from Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, look, there isn't time. If I don't get them before nightfall, like, who knows what Littleton will do to them. If I can get him in the daytime, then that would be so much easier.
And while we're on the topic, one of the MIA characters in question is your son. So, I gotta go. Yeah. By the way, these are the two people that are currently missing. So if you thought there was any chance I was gonna not do this, there wasn't until this is where we are. And now that this is where we are, I've got things to do. Okay, bye.
He does want his son rescued. Now, he's also been actively worried about his son committing suicide for some time. So,
yes.
Even before, he came back, he was, when he was off in Texas and they didn't know where he was. And he was like, I kind of kept waiting to, discover he died. There is still, I'd like to protect Mercy, but also, having his son that's been around.
But Mercy's not my son. Yeah.
4-digit number of years would be good, too.
Exactly. And then he accidentally helps her a little bit with information about walkers and vamps, and
Yeah, he's like, hey, they're afraid of you, but hey, they also managed to get rid of most of you. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
Walkers.
there's still vampires and only like one walker or so left.
Yeah, keep this in mind. Yeah. So Mercy's phone just keeps blowing up because she gets done with Bran. And she's like, well, that was fun. Her phone rings. It's Kyle. I'm going to need you to get over here. ASAMFP. Because things are happening. And things are happening. I don't quite know what, but I know that it's a huge problem. And I need somebody who can put the skids to this. And Adam's AFK. So you're my next call.
On her way over there, she gets a call, finally, back from Tony saying, oh, yeah, we've got it for you. She's like, yeah, I got to run some errands. And by errands, I mean, I don't know, weird werewolf drama that I hope I survive. And then...
Yeah. Yeah, she never mentions, like, these are life-threatening errands. It's not a big deal.
I got some errands. Maybe I
Yeah.
could come by in like an hour. And I thought, an hour seems really soon. Don't you want to ask about like maybe 2-3 hours?
Yeah.
Like, what makes you think you can deal with this thing that quickly? She kind of does, but
Yeah.
I don't
But
know. It
you
seemed
can't
like
expect...
underestimating time.
Exactly. You can't expect werewolf drama to be solved with a snap and point, you know? Knock it off.
If you're
Like,
alpha enough, maybe.
Yeah.
there's more to it. There's generally more to it than that. You know, she can't just roll up a newspaper and whack a couple of them on the
Swat
nose
'em.
and call it a day. Yeah. That's not how this works with generally.
Yeah.
Generally with vampires, or with werewolves, it's slightly more involved.
Yeah, so she gets over to Adam's house, and
Yeah.
Honey's like, go, go, go.
Yeah.
You go now.
There's marking their territory, spraying the house everywhere.
We find out Darryl's upstairs. We find Warren has changed.
Yes, he's wolf
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, he's wolf again. Darryl is basically ordering Warren to lie down. And because Darryl outranks Warren, this is supposed to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be a non-issue.
But-
Warren should just go lie down.
And yet,
But Warren is hiking his leg.
Warren is standing there like, lol, no. You know,
Yeah.
basically. And so this is where we find out that Warren DGAF about Darryl's dominance because there isn't any. And Warren has been choosing to let Darryl be second because Warren, A, has an ounce of self-awareness, and B, probably doesn't want all of the nonsense that comes with being someone second, even if Adam were to do it, were to name him that. And C, has probably no patience for the political interpersonal fallout of being on the other team and having that high a position in the pack. This is where we discover that Warren has kicked back and let Darryl be second, even though that isn't necessarily true, and that his wolf ain't got time for that.
And there's no Warren home at this point. It is only Wolf
All
because he's
Wolf
been
all
so
the time.
injured.
Yeah.
And the wolf is like, I pretend to be less dominant. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as the wolf is concerned, Darryl is now an adult in a peanut special. Wah, 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 wah.
And then today in Mercy Learns Something New About Werewolf Magic, she can apparently order Warren to lie down, and it happens because Adam claimed her as a mate. And she's like, oh, I just thought that was like, you know, werewolf
I thought you
people
just said
nonsense.
so. I
Yeah.
didn't know that, like, you wrote it in magical pen
Just thought
and
it was
that
an
it was
honorary title.
Exactly.
It's probably part of why the pack is so messed up, because it was an actual real magical thing that happened, but then she didn't like finish it.
But she
for
wasn't
so
like,
long.
yeah, she wasn't there for it to matter. So now there's like this hole or vacuum or whatever. Like, she looks at Warren and says, lie down. And he goes, okay.
Yeah. Right.
And so now, of course, makes Darryl even grumpier, I imagine.
And he started off pretty grumpy.
Yeah, and it's not better because it worked for her and not for him.
Is this the part where Kyle was like, Yeah, well, he didn't hurt me before, and everyone else but Kyle knows what that means.
Almost, because they take him downstairs, and that's when we find out, because Kyle wants to get in the cage with him, and they're all like, "Don't do that. Like, I know right now you are a metaphorical snack, and you are about to be a literal snack. Don't sit in there with him." And they go, and he goes, "Well, he's never hurt me before." And that's when he turns into E.F. Hutton, and like everybody starts listening, because nobody else realized the depth of that relationship until this moment. Maybe Honey, because she says that she knows of Kyle when he first shows up at the house to hold Warren's hand. You know, Kyle's told me about you. That tells us a few things about all three of those people in that moment. But then this is where, if this is how well he's behaving when Mercy isn't there to boss him around, we need him to go into one of the safe rooms. So that's when Darryl and Honey haul the entire mattress downstairs, wolf and all, and they stick it in a cage, and Kyle tries to get in the cage with them. And that's where that happens, is they're like, yeah, no. And he's like, why not?
In case anybody doesn't actually remember, the reason is that means that Warren's wolf thinks of Kyle as his mate.
Yeah, the wolf too.
And Kyle don't know what that even means.
Kyle has no idea the significance of that. Just says, he's never hurt me before. I don't know why it would be now. Which, in that moment, made me wonder how much interaction Kyle has had with Warren's wolf. I don't know how much. And I just sort of wondered at that point, like,
I get the impression that they kind of broke it off, like, right after he found out
did.
he was a werewolf because of the whole lying thing. So
Yeah.
I don't think much at all, I would guess, at this juncture.
At some point between the first book and the second book, they are on the outs. And this is what sort of fixes that. But the reason they're on the outs is not because Warren is a werewolf. It was because Warren didn't trust Kyle enough to tell him.
Yeah, it was the
like,
lying.
I've got this whole other hobby maybe you should sort of be aware of. But like, yeah, I can see that being a weird conversation and not wanting to have it. So yeah, that's the part that sent Kyle around the bend. And that's one of the things I love about Kyle in these books is like Mercy lays it all out for him and he goes, oh, okay. Like, is that it? And that's the thing that makes him mad, is that it's that you lied. It's not that you're a werewolf. Like, that part's okay. And so like, as these things continue to happen and Kyle, much like Mercy, Kyle continues to get kind of roped into some of these things or ends up on the fringes of a bunch of different things because of his proximity to Warren and one thing and another. So I really enjoy Kyle's perspective on all this stuff too, because it's a little bit like us wading into something that is supernatural, you know, which we have no experience with. And so getting to hang out with Kyle during all of these is always kind of fun. But also Kyle is delightful. I would hang out with Kyle 100%. We would have been friends.
Yes. So Mercy tries to call Elizavetta again, and Darryl's like, oh, yeah, that's not going to happen. She left town because she was afraid of the demon jumping to her.
You can call her. She ain't going to answer, baby.
Of course, that's because she's calling a house phone.
It's a landline.
2007. Mercy notes that means she must have had a brush or two with evil to be that easy to be moved to for a demon. Yeah. And this is before she's a black witch. This is when she's still gray.
That's what I was wondering about. The subsequent rereadings was in that moment, like, she's not completely a black witch at this point, so there's definitely more to that story.
Put it this way, gray has a lot of gray area. Grey Witch has a lot of gray area. It's a big nasty space because at this moment her grandson is in her basement being slowly cut to pieces over the next few years.
Yeah, I forgot that.
It's at the old house, but whatever. Yeah. She's already started torturing him. He is alive and no one sees him again.
Yeah, at this point that's already happening. That's
he's just falling to pieces.
Robert is already has no freedom and is already being used to power her spells.
Okay.
But not a black witch.
In this case, yeah. At this point, Darryl then reminds Mercy about, here's what we know about killing vamps. And then she's like, oh, I told Tony I'd meet him in an hour. Gotta go. Bye. So she hauls off to the police station. She really did solve it. and probably showed up within an hour like she said she was going to.
I just know how long it takes to drive between like Richland and Findlay.
They're not close. Yeah.
I didn't think they were.
They are not. No. So then she shows up at the police station. Tony kind of takes her aside like, so we got some reports about a trailer getting torn open the east wing of a single wide out in Findlay.
Yeah.
The East Wing's gone. It's now an official single wide again.
Rumor has it you lost a few bathrooms in the melee.
We heard something happened at your house. Is the pool all right? Yeah. So was it it's fine. He just got the library. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
So,
we heard multiple stories were damaged.
Yeah. So she's like, yeah, something is happening.
Yeah.
I'm telling you about it. And she kind of tells him, and he shows her the map, and she's looking at the map. I don't see anything. And then we get the guy whose office it is, right? He's the guy that shows up. He rolls in, and so Mercy says, Tony, take off all the nighttime stuff. Because I want to know where it's hitting the fan in daytime. Because she's hoping that, like, just the presence will cause something to happen. She asks him about that. He says, I'll have to get an intern or whatever to go do it. She's like, all right. So Mercy goes and gets some food. Because she's like, I don't know, like, it's been long enough. I guess I should eat something because I can't remember the last time I ate something. So I drove through. And so she starts thinking. So then this is where she starts going back through the conversation that she had with Marsilia and what Marsilia has done so far. She didn't send everybody to go get this guy. Like, how come? She's got vampires, like, a bunch at her disposal. You have to do what she says because she's in charge. And vampires have to do what you tell them when you are the one that made them a vampire. So she starts thinking about, like, so who made Littleton if Marsilia can't boss him around? It wasn't Marsilia. So who is it that made him so that we know, because I want to find out, if that person is bossing him around. And we don't know who. And it would really be nice if we did. That's some good information to have. So she's like, okay, I need more info. So I'm going to go take Vampire Interactions, the 200 level class from Stefan's house. So we got Vamps 101 last time she went. So now we're up to Vamps 201. Like, we've covered the easy stuff. And we need to go talk to them about the other stuff. What about making vampires? Who made this? And see if there's any other information she gets from them that helps point her in the right place.
And she's also wondering, like, who else in the seas, like, who is she keeping up this front for? And so, like, there must be people she doesn't control. And it's one of the things that goes into her, I need more information. And that's probably where we should leave it. Because that's like one full chapter. And next will be chapter 11. And look at us go, finishing a whole chapter in an orderly-ish
reasonably
fashion.
I mean, for us, this was pretty orderly.
It was pretty
orderly.
Pretty orderly. So next time we're going to tackle chapter 11. Thanks so much for joining us. Farewell, Howl. This will be our 7th episode, and definitely not the last one, covering Bloodbound. And today released the 6th and final episode of Mooncalled. So we're keeping our derailments right on schedule.
Crushing it.